One thing I've noticed is how draining it is. So draining to be on the phone all the time. Whether it's like constantly scrolling through TikTok or YouTube Shorts or Instagram or looking at X, which is Twitter, but I don't really like the name X personally. Or, looking at Twitch streams. All of these things are distractions, right? They're there to distract us, to help us decompress, but at the same time, I personally have noticed when I've spent a lot of time scrolling, like on TikTok or on YouTube, doom scrolling as people call it, I literally feel a sense of doom. I feel dread. I feel depressed. Like, it makes me feel detached from my body in an unhealthy way. Part of it might be because of the content I'm consuming, but it may also be because I'm not doing anything that I want to be doing. But I have noticed when I feel really sick and I'm stuck in bed, I do more of that kind of scrolling because it's really hard for me to like sit here and make a video. It's hard for me to sit here and do a stream. It's just hard to sit up straight, right, whatever, sometimes. It's just difficult. So the doom scrolling does serve some sort of purpose, but at the same time, it makes me feel really depressed. And it's something I've noticed that I don't necessarily like. I would really like to be more connected with myself and my body and my mind and that kind of thing. And I find that the distractions of the internet, in those sense of the word, makes me feel like I'm not working towards the things that I want to work towards. I'm not achieving the things I want to achieve because I could be putting that time and energy into something else, right? Like writing or art or videos on here. But when I'm sick, really, really sick because my diseases are flaring, it's really hard to do that stuff and it's very, very frustrating. But at the same time, recognizing that just constantly consuming content, at least for me personally, is making me more depressed. So sometimes I will just like shut my phone off and I will do art, which I haven't done for a while, but I have been shutting my phone off and watching a show I want to watch, or watching a documentary I've been really wanting to watch, and watching a movie, or just, talking to a family member, or playing some games with my nieces online, something like that. Because then I feel more connected to the people around me. However, it is hard because I want to be on social media more. And when I want to be on social media more, it's more or less like pumping out the content. That's the kind of one that I want to put out there. I want to put out more content, all of my different facets of myself, as an example, and do that. But it's also, I guess, a little frustrating as a content creator, looking at like bigger content creators and the kind of stuff that ends up like blowing up online. And I'm left kind of scratching my head at times because some of it is like some way that someone said something, or it's like something that's perhaps, anyone could have done it, right? So it really makes me think, like, if I ended up blowing up on the internet at some point, what would that look like, right? Like, it gives me tons of anxiety to think about because I don't know if that's really what I want, but at the same time, like, I do want to make content and potentially someday make money off of it because my situation, the way that it is, and also, like, I really enjoy making content. So it's kind of, I don't know, that would be like a catch-22, that whole scenario. But that's not the point of the video. The whole point is the doom scrolling and that aspect of things and being detached from one's body and losing oneself in social media. So how do we change that, right? Consuming things that are probably more in line with our goals and aspirations. I follow a lot of people or consume a lot of videos that have to do with like encouraging yourself, because I feel like I need that. I feel like I need to encourage myself more. I feel like I need encouragement from other people, but I don't get that a lot. Sometimes I'll get it from people in my community, which is amazing, and I appreciate you guys and thank you so much for that. It means a lot to me. But sometimes in like the darkest moments of my life, I'm not online and I'm not talking to anybody. So in those time frames, I need to be my biggest supporter. I need to encourage myself. I need to push myself to get up out of bed. I need to make myself eat something. Like, I need to do that stuff for myself. No one else can do that for me. So consuming that kind of content definitely helps me. It hypes me up. It makes me feel better. It makes me feel like I'm going on the right path. And some of the stuff that I've consumed lately talks about how people that are in this like lonely chapter of their life, and everyone who's been successful talks about the lonely chapter that they have, where you have cut out a bunch of people in your life that don't necessarily support you or believe in you. And who knows, they may say like, oh yeah, good job, like you're doing amazing, but then when you make it, they'll like say mean things to you, right? So it's like they didn't actually support you from the get-go. They just didn't want to see you succeed more than them, which is like a jealousy thing. But it all comes down to complacency and being comfortable and not wanting things to change because we're comfortable. And I've noticed for myself, there's like this push and pull that's happening with me lately, where I want to succeed, I want to do things, but I'm kind of scared of success. Which sounds redundant. Maybe not redundant. That's not the right word. Ironic. Redundant. That doesn't even fit there. Wow. Redundant would be me explaining myself over and over. That'd be redundant. But it's kind of that idea of like, I don't know what would happen if I became successful. I don't know how things would change if I became successful. And that's scary. And I think that's part of the reason why people stay in a complacent place in life. They're comfortable in a relationship, or they're comfortable being single, or they're comfortable at a certain job, but they have these dreams and aspirations outside of all of that, and they feel like they can't go for it because that what if of either success or failure is what holds them back. I don't care about failure. I've failed so many times, I don't even give a shit anymore. I am so used to failing. It's the success portion that freaks me out. And I don't know why. Obviously, something to work on in therapy, which I'm totally fine with. I love therapy. So I love learning about myself. I love working on things. And I want to be the best version of myself. And to actually do that, I have to go to therapy. I have to look at all the parts of myself that I don't like and accept them, and then work through things so I can be in a better place, so I can be in a different place. And I've learned that I keep putting things off because there's this fear of potentially succeeding. And maybe that's because I'm an introvert. Maybe that's where that comes from. I've never really been a big, like, look at me kind of person. I know I post cosplay photos and makeup photos and every now and then art stuff, but it's like, it's never been like a, I don't know how to explain it. I just know that there's this fear there. And it's something I'm working through, and I'm trying to understand it better. And maybe when I finally take all of those steps to permanently change my life for the better, things will change. There's a lot of stuff I want to do, and there's a lot of stuff I'm trying to do. And yeah, I'm tired, and I'm stressed out, and I'm hungry, but I don't want to quit. The more I think about like my life and where it's going to be in 10, 15 years, the more I realize I'm getting old, and the more I realize that I don't want to be in the situation that I'm in forever. And to change that, I really have to take those steps to do that. And it's going to be hard. And some of them, I'm currently working on some things. I'm working on some steps to, do things. And I'm hoping that I will be courageous enough to do them. I truly appreciate the support. I truly appreciate the understanding. And I really love the community that we've built here and on Twitch, and just the understanding and kindness and supportiveness. Living with illness is hard, but it doesn't mean that you can't live your life. Keep living, because you're worth it.